Let's also welcome Saloni Roy, the partner with Deloitte India. Well, firstly, to start off with, Saloni, what are the expectations from the industry when it comes to rate rationalization?
So currently, there is, from an industry perspective, that we have multiple rates in GST. Of course, this is far better than what we had under the pre-GST scenario, where we had many states and multiple rates there, varying rates, and then we had, so we graduated. So we have, in a sense, we've come to GST 1.0. So rate rationalization really is a step towards GST 2.0, where we have multiple rates. We have the 0% rate, which is essentially for goods, for essential commodities, essentially food items. Then there's 3%, which is for precious metals. Then there is 5%, which is for, again, food items. Then there is a 12%, which is on, again, food items, then certain medicaments. 12% is also the rate that is on, so 5% is on restaurant services. And and then we have 18%, which is the general rate, which is typically applicable. And then we have 28%. Now, and then there is compensation cess, which varies again between 1% to 290%. So, so the ask really is from industry is that if we can reduce the number of rates that we have, though we've moved far in this, they want to collapse the rates between 18 and 12 and make that a 15% rate. So, and look at, certain items which we find food
Right.
are being taxed under different buckets. So how could we rationalize that?
Right.
There's certain pharma products also which get covered under different tax brackets. So
Right.
how could we
Right.
rationalize the rate? So those are aspects that industry is looking at and how we can club these together.
Right.
And the government has actually, been listening to industry. So originally, when GST was introduced,
Right, ma'am.
under the 28% bucket, we had multiple products, over 300 products. Now we have just around, 30 products, 30, 35 products.
So, other than that 18 or the 15% rate that you said could be rationalized, any other rates that also could be clubbed or rationalized is what the is what the industry is asking for. And broadly, what would be the impact of this on the financials of, say, the government, or what could be the impact of this on a normal consumer?
So, if there is a rate reduction, from a government perspective, you see that GST collections have been fairly buoyant. But we also have a situation where there is fake invoicing. So I'm sure the government wants to follow a balanced path. So if there's a rate reduction, it could lead to collections being reduced. It could. But it could also lead to a large, if there are players who are outside the GST net, then they may voluntarily comply. But I do believe that most taxpayers have complied with GST. The system is such that it encourages compliance. But yes, there are still outliers even then. So from a consumer perspective, consumers would naturally prefer a lower, rate, and then it could lead to more consumption. It could help with that. Yeah.
Okay, point taken. So that's the view coming in. But Saloni, wanted to get a better sense from you on certain key expectations which are there sector-wise. For instance, insurance. That's been a big ask, and we have seen the entire political clamor around that. There's a lot of ask coming in from the real estate industry as well. Plus, of course, the others that you talked about with respect to pharma, food, etc. Which of these do you think is the most realistic? Do you see that interest rate, or rather, sorry, GST rate reduction on insurance becoming a reality this year?
So the committee that's been set up needs to provide its report by end October. So there's a short time frame, and the committee is essentially looking from the GST rate on the premiums, the GST which is charged on premiums for life insurance and medical insurance, a variety of various insurance policies that are covered within this, but broadly under medical and life. So I do believe that they should be able to come out with their report by October, because that's the timeline that they've been given. They need to take inputs from various states and also from the ministry. So there's a possibility we may see some announcements in the November GST Council meeting on this.
Okay, point taken. Saloni, on that note, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for dropping by. We'll perhaps reconnect with you when we do have the outcome as well.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.